So who I'm talking about is a 15-star diamond coach who, frankly, is the type of success story that, you know, if we could clone her, we would. And her name's Trina Gray out of Alpena, Michigan. I had the pleasure of flying up there for an event, gosh, it was a little over a year ago, I suppose. But, you know, there are some coaches, they work this thing in one way and bit by bit, and then there are other coaches that just, like they're wrestling a bear to the ground, and they just make it happen. And that's Trina. Trina attacks this business like few that I have seen, and in a way that if I was going to be a coach, I would aspire to be like her. She's got one of the biggest hearts that you can find in this business, and more than that, you got some of the greatest integrity that I've ever seen in a human being. So Trina, thanks for joining us today and helping us teach people a little bit about the Coach Basics program.
Thank you for an awesome welcome, and I love that you say I can tackle a bear. Since I live in northern Michigan, that could actually come in handy.
See, and I think it's, well, I saw you, you know, when I was there, you had Body Beast, Sagi was around there, but he was not giving you any lip service. He knew that ultimately you could take him down. So,
Yeah, I love it. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to talk to you today about a topic that has completely overhauled my business and my team, and really deserves a big, bright, shining light on it, Carl, because Coach Basics, or on my team we call it Rock the Basics, is the secret sauce. So I will answer anything you want, chat about it, tell you what I think about it, tell me what you want.
Well, I'd like to know, you know, many people take it for granted. They hear Coach Basics, and it sounds like, well, you know, what do I want with basics? I want the coach supercharge, make me a star. I want $1 million in a year program, not Coach Basics. You know, so tell us what Coach Basics means from your perspective and why coaches are attracted to it.
Oh, well, that's hilarious. I love that point, first and foremost, that I know the thought behind Coach Basics was to make it sound not intimidating. So we, you know, picked potentially the least intimidating words you could come up with, Coach Basics. So coaches out there know that once you embrace this program, you can name it whatever you want, right? Coach Basics might sound like paint drying, but you can make it sound exciting. It's the actual program that will change your world. So we call ours Rock the Basics. You can call it Fit University. You can call it whatever you want. The gist of it is this, that you can be successful in the business on your own, and you can dig into all the online resources, and you can listen to calls and kind of operate this on your own little island. Or you can group up with other newer coaches, take a look at some great content that Beachbody's provided, and work with your upline coaches in a small accountability group to get success faster, easier, better. Carl, a really simple way to describe this to people, and then I can work in Badgers and UW-Madison right here.
All right.
Is that, you see why?
Yes.
Is I went to Wisconsin, okay? And I was in a huge, enormous calculus class. I'm a journalism major. I have no business in calculus. It was an enormous class. I'd say 1,000 people in it in this big lecture hall. So that's like a new coach joining. You're just in this like kind of huge sea of Beachbody coaches. The real magic happens in your small sections that are led by like a teaching assistant every week. They take these concepts that can be somewhat complicated and bring them down to you and chat with you about them. You connect with other people who are lost in calculus, and all of a sudden you pass. And that's what Coach Basics is. It takes complicated concepts of talking to people about the business, overcoming objections, inviting, personal development, and it brings it to a level that you can understand, and it gives you support with other newbies so you don't feel as lost on your own.
Now first, let's put it into perspective. In this calculus class, aka Coach Basics, when you pass, you've actually got a business that's thriving. Now imagine that for a second. This is such a valuable point. Like people, you went to school, elementary school, junior high, high school, college, and you would focus on a class for a semester because you wanted to pass, you wanted to get the best grade possible. Not enough people are doing the Coach Basics program when if this is the one last class they would ever do in their lives, this one could actually propel them to an income and to helping people in such a phenomenal, concrete way that it's absolutely worth the time investment. Now, when you say though that you had these groups in the calculus, the calculus little groups, how much of an expert did the person helping to run that little group have to be? And I'm asking that for a reason, that does a person watching this who wants to run a Coach Basics, they might be intimidated. Do I have to know everything in order to run a Coach Basics group?
Yeah, great answer. Great question. The answer is, I hope not, because I'm not an expert in all things Beachbody. I'm a superstar diamond that still has to look stuff up in the back office, right? The idea is that you have to come to the table with a belief that the business changes lives. That's it. Then you help create dialogue with other people who believe that this business changes lives. And you help them take their business into something that they can do on a daily basis and see daily changes in their future. I have to say something about your point on that when you finish this class, like you've graduated from a class, you now have a thriving business that can propel your income and propel your family. When you brought up this stuff, I thought of Jen Cudzillo, a woman on our team who is a physical therapist. So she's got a lot of money in schooling into her education, right? She joined as what some people call a discount coach. She got T25 in psychology, got in a challenge group. Jana invited her, got in a challenge group, lost some baby weight. Jana said, gosh, you're doing really well in this group. I really noticed your energy. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? And Jen said, well, I have no idea. What's a coach? Blah, blah, blah. She joins. She gets in Coach Basics. Carl, within 1 month, she was Emerald, 18 Success Club points. Next month, signed up 7 coaches and made $2,000 in a month. Now, not returning to her physical therapy job. Now, changing lives and staying home with her 2 kids. That is the power of Coach Basics, taking someone who joined for a discount on amazing premium products. In a few months' time, they see the value of the business, they have the tools and the support, and she just changed her entire family's future.
Pretty crazy. That is
crazy.
Now, how do you leverage that? Because you've got to see, you recruit so many coaches, and your team brings in so many coaches. How do you get people into these Coach Basics group? What do you do to compel them to organize? Yeah,
okay. So let me break it down pretty simple on my team. And you can scale this at any level. So if you're a brand new Emerald out there listening and you just have 2 coaches, you can start a Coach Basics program. You go to your Coach Online office, you download the guide, and you add your own flair and lessons and content to it to kind of bring it to life for you. You can run 2 people through this. If you have a larger organization, what we do is, Carl, we just created a simple application called in WooFoo. It's this website we found, free, WooFoo. We create an application so people feel like they're applying to be in a training program. It kind of levels it up. And we ask them questions. What do you want to get out of this? Why do you want to be in it? As of today, we have 125 applications for our next training program, which starts on Monday. Then we look for leaders within our team, so Emerald level and above leaders within our team. We ask them to lead these groups. We say, you learn the best by teaching, so will you take this content and teach other new coaches the ropes over the course of 30 days? So 1, we're helping new coaches start better, get better results faster. 2, we're helping leaders become better leaders and lead other leaders, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. But have you seen anybody flame out in this? I mean, let's be real for a second.
Oh, yeah.
So you've seen people start Coach Basics group, and it's not a foregone conclusion that it's just going to be all rainbows and Skittles.
What are Skittles? It's not, just kidding. So, no, absolutely. Here's what you need to do. If you want more people to pass, let me tell you the secret. You have to set the expectations for them. So what I mean by that is you have to paint the picture. So you can say, would you like to start building a thriving business and changing lives and earning income and getting more fit yourself? An hour a day, in on the post. I need you to attend the weekly Zooms. All starts with the letter E, expectations. If you paint the picture where this program can take them, they're hooked. Then you got to come around the corner with the expectations. Like, hey, if that all sounds good to you, you want to make money, you want to help people, this is what's expected of you in the process. The people who flame out are those who never knew what they...
I've heard that some people, and maybe this is just, we're saying the same thing, but that some people who weren't looking to make a living as Team Beachbody coaches, they didn't want to necessarily be discount coaches, but people here have a little group of 3 or 4, but then would get into a Coach Basics group thinking that they were going to learn how to be better coaches, but ended up being quite intimidated by the whole prospect. Have you experienced that? And so how do you know when somebody's right for a Coach Basics group and when they're not?
Oh, that's such a good question. The overall, so in my view, the overall goal of why someone should get in Coach Basics is to build their confidence as a coach. Whether they want to lead themselves and their dog through better health, or they want to inspire the whole community. If they want to be more confident as a coach, this is what they should do. So we can't project our goals on coaches getting in. It has to be, we want to help you become a more confident coach, show you the range of success, and let you decide how fast you want to go. But Carl, it's for everyone who wants to get anywhere faster and smoother, right? So, and I think sometimes people don't know what possibility exists for them until they've gotten some guidance. So a quick example, Boyle on our team, a stay-at-home mom, 3 boys under the age of 3. Pause, think on that for a moment. Moved to a new community, needed a job, got in a challenge group, heard about coaching. All right, she was able to bring in $4,000 in income to her family in 5 months. She lost 14 pounds herself, but the best number, and the one that I know that you care about the most, is here's a stay-at-home mom who didn't know anything about coaching. Sure, if she was going to build an income with it, she would have said no way. She helped 120 people lose 500 pounds over those 5 months.
That's pretty amazing.
Now, she wouldn't have known, Carl, coming into Coach Basics if we said it's only for business builders, or you have to want to quit. We shouldn't be saying that to people. This is, do you want to be more confident in your decision to become a Beachbody coach? Crystal said, yeah, I want to be more confident. Let me decide, but show me the ropes. What could I do? And that's what we as leaders should be inviting people to. Build confidence. You want us to show you what's possible. You've got to take ownership.
The process of building this network, we've gotten really lucky a few times. And this is a little bit of an aside. But we had this great company with superstar trainers, powerful infomercials, selling tons of product. Less of those people were using the product. And we thought, what's a PIO that's coming, like P90X3, T25, and so on? How do we get more people to do those programs and see them through? Let's people who meet with our ETA meetings and coffee shops and so customers and coaches like that who will then affect the lives of 120 people that we would have never reached, not to this level of impact, without the coach network. You wonder if it's important what we do. I mean, here's a woman, 15-star diamond, superstar diamond, working it as hard as you probably ever have, but with as much passion. And God bless you, hope you're creating a ton of wealth, but at the same time, helping literally tens of thousands of people through every little bit of effort. Coach Basics, inviting, personal development, and being a product of the product. It's outrageous. It's just awesome to see. And so of this little premise that we had, I don't know, 7 years ago, and we're like, maybe this will go. Well, it's awesome. I really appreciate you on the call with us today. And just keep up the great work. Appreciate all you do as a CAB member and certainly as a Superstar Diamond, and I can't wait to see you at Summit.
Thank you so much, Carl. What a pleasure.
Awesome. Thanks, Trina.
Bye.
All right. So, Sandy, that was awesome. Jake, that was fantastic.